Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. I'm Amy. If you're new to my channel, I make videos about health and fitness, raw food, meditation, personal development, and spirituality. And today I want to talk about suffering. What's the point of suffering and how to decrease it and eliminate it out of your life. Alright, so let's get into it. So, we all pretty much know what suffering is, right? So, suffering is just going through pain. And there's a quote from Buddha that you may have heard that life is suffering. And my interpretation of this is that most people live their whole life, going through suffering because they're constantly in a battle with themselves, basically, of defending themselves to keep themselves where they are in their comfort zone, and that keeps them stuck where they are and keeps them in their current mental state, so they don't really heal from any mental problems or even diseases, illnesses, physical problems they don't heal from. They may get some temporary relief, but they will not fully heal for them. And mentally they're not as good as they could be, and they're not doing something they're passionate about their life. And spiritually they're unaware. They're totally closed off from this spirituality, most people. So in terms of this, how I interpret it is that they're going through their whole life suffering because they're not really living, they're living less than a half life, in my opinion. This is my opinion. That's why I said this is my interpretation. I think maybe you could interpret that quote other ways, but this is just how I see it, and this is my perspective, so take it for what you will. And yeah, but basically, most people go through so much suffering, and then other people actually see that, and it actually creates more suffering because they feel sorry for them. And this is what we've been kind of taught to believe, I guess, that a lot of people do this. They go through suffering, and because they don't fully heal from it, they want to project that out on others, not intentionally. Everybody is good at a soul level within the heart, so I don't think anybody intends to do this, but because they are unaware of what they're doing, they're trying to project it out and make other people feel sorry for themselves so they feel better. So that's hurting themselves because they're not really healing. They're just getting some temporary relief, and then this is going to keep happening as a recurring thing, which causes them more suffering, and it causes people around them more suffering. And I don't know if everybody goes through this, but I've seen a lot with other people that aren't related to me. I work with people. I'm a personal trainer, so I see that with people, and I've seen it growing up. I've been in foster care, so I've seen it growing up in foster care homes a lot, different families, and I see it within my own family a lot. And yeah, it can be quite intense, and it's just unnecessary and terrible. People go through things and they're painful, and that's understandable, and at the time you have to be there for them at the time. And then I don't know, but once the time is over, when somebody keeps going on about that suffering, that's not going to help them, and it's not going to help other people. So that's what I kind of want to create some awareness of in this video, to, I don't know, just shed light on what is the norm and what you can do to make it better for yourself and for the other people around you, basically. So what I want to talk about is what's the point of suffering, basically. So what's the point of suffering? This suffering is something that we create. Deep down we create it without knowing, generally, because we need to go through that to heal ourselves, because it's the universe basically showing us what we need to do to get better, if that makes sense. If you're going through some kind of pain, you're not in the flow, basically. You're going against it. You're creating resistance. I've talked about resistance in some of my other videos. Check out my video on law of attraction if you like. That will explain it a bit more, because I don't want to go into it here. So basically, you're creating resistance, which causes pain, because whenever you're going against the flow, you cause yourself pain. It can be minor pain, if it's just a small thing, which is what people generally do, like pretty much every day. If something happens that they don't expect, they don't like, that causes them pain, right? Because they're resisting against it. But big things that can happen, and then it causes a lot of pain. That's actually where illness is created, like physical, mental, emotional illnesses are created, and these block people from healing and ever really feeling really good and satisfied with their life and happy. And like, most people have no idea what real happiness is, and this is why I talk about this kind of stuff, because like I feel like it needs to be said. Like, not enough people are talking about it, which is understandable because it's not exactly a thing people talk about every day. But I mean, somebody's got to talk about it, and there are other people, which is great, and I think it's gonna become more and more, like, more people are gonna start talking about this. So good on you for watching this video, and share it with other people if you like it and you find it helpful. So yeah, that's basically what the point of it is. It's a good thing in that way because it's going to help you to show you what you need to do. Like, when you go into the suffering, you surrender, you feel pain in the moment, right? And the pain sucks. Like, there's no lie about suffering. Like, you can't say that you're going to enjoy it in the moment. It really sucks, depending on the degree of pain that you're in. And that can vary, and it depends on the situation. It can be anything. I'm talking physical, emotional, mental, whatever. Like, I'm talking about anything here, big things and little things. So the pain sucks. You feel the pain, you feel the emotion, but then when you just be with it, let it go, it will go away, and you'll calm down. Like, you notice this, like, whenever something's wrong, maybe a kid fell over, they hurt themselves, and they're crying, they're upset, and you know, it can seem like a big deal for a kid sometimes, that and basically they're really upset. What do you do to calm them down? You give them a hug, a kiss, whatever, and also you might play some like happy music or something, or like a TV show, a kids show. That those shows actually have like music and stuff that is happy to help kids like feel good. This is something that I study, but this is just something that I've just observed and become aware of, so I think that's why they do that for kids. And basically that makes you feel calm, right? So it's just basically calming you down. So you can do this with meditation too. You can do this by listening to good music. When I say good music, like, I mean calming music. You don't want to be listening to screamo music to calm yourself down. I mean, that might be a bit of a given, but like, if that's the kind of music you're into, you don't want to listen to the kind of music you like in the time where you're trying to calm yourself down. Because also, why I'm talking about this is because when you do raw food, or you meditate, do fasting, anything like that, I've talked about my other videos about food and emotions, and it brings up a lot of emotions that have been suppressed before, because we're taught in society to suppress our emotions. So a lot of people, not everybody, thankfully some people are more expressive, so they wouldn't have as many issues. But if you've been like one of those people, like I was as a kid, like taught to not talk about your emotions and just deal with it, or like not even so much to talk about it, but like you just didn't know what to do, so you ignored it, and then it doesn't go away if you don't feel it because it's too painful. It doesn't go away, it gets buried. So this stuff comes up now when we're older, and when you're doing raw food and that kind of thing. Like, if you're eating like processed food, junk food, you're doing stuff, you're working, you're doing the same 9-to-5 job, whatever, you like the rat race, then you won't be aware of this stuff, basically. So you're not going to bring up these emotions. So you may not experience them so intensely this time, but you won't be feeling good, like, because once you let these emotions go and come up, like during the healing process, they're gone for good. Like, I've experienced this myself, like ongoing for a while, and it's been pretty intense. It hasn't been fun all the time, but afterwards it is so good, because it's such a relief to know that it's like to feel like, you know, that's gone. You don't experience it again. Like, it's just like words can't even describe how good you feel after you like do this. Like, if you try raw food, try meditating, just like you feel so good. Anyway, so that's what you do to eliminate suffering, like when you feel like any kind of pain, physically, emotionally. Physically, there are other things you can do, but I'm just talking more about emotional here as well. But I won't get into that. I might talk about it more in another video. And also, like, yeah, so I talk about surrender. So like, the more you resist, the more the suffering will cause you pain, and it will be ongoing as well. So if like something comes up and you're resisting against it, right, and it may go away in that moment, but you haven't really dealt with it, it comes up again, that's causing suffering in your life, like, because it's causing you suffering all the time. That's when disease occurs, because it keeps coming up and you're not dealing with it. So when you may experience like the same situations with people a lot, or emotions with food, or I don't know, financial situation or whatever, like if you experience the same thing happening a lot of time, which most people do because most people are not going through heaps and heaps of change, because they're not aware, basically, then that's just a recurring pattern of like how you're suffering. So to get rid of that, you have to change, and you have to wake up to that and basically deal with it, which isn't always fun. And like I said in other videos, you got to take 100% responsibility for everything in your life. Once you take that responsibility and you do what you need to do, you can get exactly what you want. So it's about facing your fears and courage as well. Like, you've got to just own up to yourself, not bullshit yourself, like I've said in other videos. Just do what you have to do. Sometimes it sucks in the moment and it feels so much better. You'll get over it so quickly that way, instead of causing yourself years or your whole life of pain. And that is when you lie on your deathbed and you have regrets, because you're unsatisfied with your life, because you didn't live up to what you could have done. You didn't enjoy it the whole time. You were worried, you were preoccupied with stuff that was going on that was probably stupid. Because when you think about life and death, like, all the stuff in between doesn't really matter. Like, all that matters is that you enjoyed life, right? So all that stuff that you worried about during your lifetime won't matter, and then you'll have to face that. So this is why you want to deal with it while you're young, or whatever age you are now that you're watching this video. Doesn't matter if you're old or young, whatever age you get access to the information, just deal with it then however you need to deal with it. Sometimes it may take a little bit of time, and like, I totally understand that. It's no rush to do it, but the quicker you do it, the more you run into fear and you go into it and you just deal with it, the quicker it's gone. So it's up to you how much you want to deal with at one time and get rid of. But the more you just deal with, it's the easiest thing just to go head into it and just to deal with it. Rather than to let it drag on, because that's slow and painful. Would you rather like a slow and painful death or a quick one? I would rather a quick one. So that was the best example I could come up with, guys. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much what I want to talk about in this video, and I hope it helped you. So if you're going through anything at the moment, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is, just remember that it's there for a reason, and it can go away as quick as you like. Even doesn't seem like it when you let go of it. You just gotta let go, meditate, do what you have to do, raw food, exercise, go for long walks, spend time alone, watch videos like this, and stay positive. Gratitude, like, just stay grateful. Like, I am grateful for all my suffering. I don't think it was a bad thing at all. I don't think it's necessary to go through so much that I've been through, like for most people, and I definitely don't wish that upon anybody, which is why I make these videos as well. But it was obviously necessary for me, so I'm grateful that I went through it, because I learnt all this stuff from it, and that's what made me the person I am today, and that's why I'm here, and I've got all this stuff to share with people. So I'm really grateful for it, because like I learnt so much from it, and I feel so much better now that I went through it. And I've still got like a long life left to live, you know. Like, I'm fortunate that I went through a lot while I was young. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, if you have been through a lot, like, already, and you're like, oh, I wish I knew this sooner, like I understand that, because when I found out this, I kind of felt like that too, and I was just like, you know, wish I didn't have to go through all that. But like, on the other hand, all that stuff that I went through was good for me personally, because it helped me create my like career and my purpose and all that. So I see it as a good thing. And also the other thing is that you just want to forget about the past pretty much, accept it and move on, and don't worry about it. Like, focus on the present, like be present and focus on what you're creating in the future. Focus on whatever it is you want to create, like whatever your dreams are. You want to focus on those, do the things you like, and just work on yourself in whatever way you can in this present moment, the best you can to get where you need to be. You don't have to worry about anything too much if, like, you just do what you can do now, wherever you currently are. So that's it. I don't want to ramble anymore. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend also if you think it will help them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, peace out.